Hello, everyone. Welcome to Curiosity Podcast today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us wherever you're listening across the world. And this is going to be our ninth episode. Wow. It all started like a joke, and here we have. We've had a series of amazing conversation with entrepreneurs doing amazing stuff in not just in Nigeria but across Africa. And the last episode was with Blessing Como, a very young, smart lady that she's working on phytomedicine. She's doing amazing stuff. And this week we're here again to continue this very interesting conversation. And we are having a very special entrepreneur today on the show. He's a friend, he's a buddy, he's my own boy. I like to call him C Money as well. This is really going to be exciting. Please allow me to introduce Confidence Odioinye. Is founder, the president of Beatdrone. His company is one of the first set of companies that pioneer this drone industry in Nigeria, and he's been doing amazing stuff in that space. So today on the podcast, we'll be having a conversation around how we started Beatdrone, funding, his plans for the future, the amazing project is about to launch, and everything amazing around drone and the impact, in Nigeria so far. So without much ado, I would like to welcome Confidence on the show. Confidence, welcome to Curiosity Podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Great to have you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, very good.
Amazing. And I believe it must have been a great year for you so far. And even during the COVID, I knew you were doing some exciting stuff. And so let's just get into it. You're the founder of Beatdrone. So I just wanted to know, how did it start in terms of Beatdrone? Was that like your first idea? I would just like you to give us a background into your entrepreneurship journey and how it leads to you founding Beatdrone as a company.
Well, in 2014, I was surfing the net. I no initially I was listening to a particular radio station called Nigeria Info 9.3 in Lagos, and the young man spoke about he got a grant from Google, I think either $16,000 or $20,000, and he also encouraged people who have great ideas to approach incubators, and they can enable them, fine tune them, push them to market entry. So he mentioned a couple of incubators, and Passion Incubator struck into my head. So back then, I merely went online, started surfing the net, trying to look at who they are, and I got off their website. Then they were when they just started, they were taking their first where I was gonna apply, and I got in. Initially, my first idea was Beat Traffic. It was a traffic management application. We ran that for approximately the traffic app was just like Google app. What we did was we utilized Google Map API and synchronize it with all our users, and we are able to signify which areas are actually busy or have heavy traffic and which areas are free. So, for example, you're using our app, even if you don't launch the app is tracking your speed, right? Once you start moving, just like a speedometer in your vehicle. So we're able to use algorithms to triangulate which uh, areas are actually heavy. So, for example, you're moving on, let's say, Turbulent Bridge, right? And your speed is between 30 to, let's say, per hour. We know that it's a moving traffic, right? So that means there's high influx of vehicles, but they are moving. And we also see other vehicles within the same range when there's a moving. Then if your speed is between 10 to 20, it's slow moving traffic. If it's from 5 to 10, it's heavy. And then fast moving traffic between 60 to 100 and so that worked very fine. We also were providing traffic information on social media, like Twitter. Then we continued to provide information to radio stations, right? And also on WhatsApp, we had a group of people that would always say that, oh, we live very early, please try and tell us the traffic between our routes. So we did that for a long time. We moved about 10,000 migrations backward. I wanted to take it to the next level. I thought of, oh, why can't these people see the traffic with their eyes? So what did we do? We spoke with Silver Television, got a partnership, and bought a drone and was flying watch hour traffic every day, just like you see in New York, where the helicopters come and then they show you rush hour traffic. So we're doing that every day. And we also created a link because we are streaming live on YouTube. So we created a link on our app whereby you can tap on while navigating, can tap on the video and you can see the traffic ahead. Or if you are approaching a particular route, the video can pop up and tell you, oh, 5 kilometers away, this is the traffic situation. So it was very lovely, very, very lovely. However, we found out that monetizing it was a little bit difficult. So for 2 years, we ran on our own money, and generating one single revenue was a problem, right? Every radio station always mentioned, oh, traffic from big traffic. I mean, it was transfer, big traffic and daily traffic were just, competing and the rest. And we got to a point where we said, oh, okay, I think this isn't making money. What do we do? So back then, I had to sit back and created a pivot. I thought of the most important thing in what we've all built to the drone, right? Funny enough, I had a friend then at PwC, that is Price Water Cooper. He shared a documentation with me that says clarity from above, drone power solution. Carrying out the reading the entire document, I found out that drone technology is just actually far beyond taking pictures of videos. Like drone technology can actually work in almost all sectors. So I was wowed actually. So I sat back and actually started studying deeply about the drone industry. I also did my own research, personal research, asking questions and moving around places to understand market need and what value I bring to the table. So that was how Beatdrone was born. So in 2017, we created Beatdrone under Translate Technology, and we were able to kickstart our first uh, trial phase. So we focused majorly on agriculture, oil and gas, and infrastructure, right? Because these were the three most, what we call it the big three industry or sectors in Nigeria and also Africa. There is no African country that does not have large scale farms. There is no African country that does not have mining as their major means of income. So they posed, or should I say, made a case for us to be the focus sectors that we work with. And the creation of it enabled us to fully understand what problems exist in the agricultural sector, how these drones are, what value they will bring to the table. So for us, it was a very good pivot from traffic to utilizing high technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning to develop solutions that will be beneficial for most businesses and also government agencies.
Amazing. So Beatdrone started for you initially. You said you were trying to for Lagosians, all right. And at a
Yeah.
point, you wanted to make that solution better, and it was like, what if we get real-time camera feeds for our users? And that was where the whole idea of using drones, application in different sectors. And this is very interesting because I like the fact that entrepreneurs should understand that if you're starting a business, it's not necessarily the idea that you started with that is actually going to make you scale. And I think you're able to learn very fast from that and move because monetizing was also an issue for you. All right. But I would like to step back a bit. So you mentioned you're in Passion Incubator. So what was the value for you then starting out? In that incubator, because I was also part of the cohort that time.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah.
I'll have a podcast where I will discuss about my experience being in an incubator sometime soon. But Confidence, I would like to hear from you. What was the experience like in those very early stage in trying to build beat traffic? What was it like?
So I think we both were among the first cohorts. The value we got was having business owners, the likes of junior founders come in, talk to us, Marketing of Hotels of NG, even on Erika Okuma now with Sam Crowdy and Tracy Walker. I mean, there so many entrepreneurs came in, spoke to us, people that have done this in the past. Even the guy that started this telecommunication network, I think is it MTEL, I think MTEL, yeah. So Chicken Wobi. I mean, so many of these guys came in and spoke to us. They gave us practical lessons. I mean, that was where we found out that it's okay to pivot. It's okay if something is not working, you learn from it and you move to the next stage immediately. Because the truth is, most people rely on that idea. They have an emotional connection with that idea.
Mm,
Even within Beatdrone, we've pivoted on so many operational or business models that we see that was not working in the last, and we'll continue to pivot until we get it right. So the most important thing is two things. You're creating value, one, you are also making money because business is all about money. Business is created to provide value in exchange for cash. So if you're providing value and the cash is not measuring up to the value you're creating, it's a problem, right? So at that point, we're creating value and there was no cash, right? So we had to go back to the board and we think and we came out with it. And those experiences from those veterans in the industry enabled us to actually move a step further. So the incubators are very practical, and I think most of the time, I don't think they're currently we still have those incubators that actually need bent in training entrepreneurs, pushing them through this rigorous phase, having their MVP, their prototype, doing their having their startup board and all the stuff. I mean, we went to the street, we were asking questions to get real time information, right? And we're able to test our ideas, run down the prototype, ensure that it has a market fit, and then bring out our MVP, minimum viable product. I mean, it it's what is that those knowledge have helped me to date to maintain a clear stand on the principle of business. It's business is tough in Nigeria. It's tougher, so you need to understand how your market is. You need to understand what works, and over the years, we would continue to refine until we get a particular principle, right, at the point where it can on its own. So for me, I feel that incubator passion classes were very beneficial to train me as a person because businesses, corporations, companies, personally, I don't have those knowledge. I wouldn't have gotten to where we are today.
So what about funding? All right. You were doing this in 2015, if I'm right, all to 2017 before you had
Yeah,
like your first
starting from
pivot.
2014.
2014. All right. So what was it like? How can you compare funding? How were you able to navigate funding early stage businesses for you back in those days? What was the
So
process like right now?
back in those days, raising 300K USD was like raising $1 million now. I mean, you hear people, oh, we raised 10K USD, we raised 5K USD, 100K USD. I think the maximum there was 300K. So you like we had the early stage of startup founders, right? And then getting funds was very, very, very difficult. But I was able to get my first investment in 2015 from Audu Maikori, and he said I'm investing in him, not just his idea. That I believe that he, as a person, has the ability to create a bankable business, right? So at that
Interesting. So,
point,
how much did you raise from Howdo at that point? Can you share that with us?
well, it's not for public information, but we raised some couple thousands of dollars.
Okay, okay. All right.
Yeah, so
So
I
have you
feel
raised
that,
follow-up investment after that? What has been,
yeah,
or you've just been able to
I
grow with that seed?
yes, yes. I mean, from there we've raised a couple. However, uh, I myself, I believe in not, should I say, uh, I believe in working along with so many people so that we can go. The saying says, you go alone, you go with people, you go faster. However, I would say something that what you get is what you negotiate, right? So negotiation is key for the survival of every single business. Watching the series, it made me also understand that in life, everything we do is negotiation. We negotiate with everybody from our family to business to even walking down the road. We are negotiating. So having a good negotiation skill is important to having a measure of success in life, right?
So
So
can you tell us about Beatdrone? In terms of, you mentioned you're playing in agriculture sector, oil and gas, and
yeah,
mining. Can you just walk us through your impact in terms of the value you've created for businesses in this space so far?
yeah. So starting in agriculture, which is a major uh, sector, uh, focus sector, we've we've had over 50,000 hectares of lands under operation. Uh, Lands either engaged in spray, mapped, or conducted a crop analysis. So for spraying, I'll give you an example. 1 hectare is the size of a football field. So 50,000 hectares, just imagine 50,000 football field. That's a lot, right? Um, we've done, we've been able to bring in uh, uh, AI drone that can spray 1 hectare within 15 minutes. It
Amazing.
takes, it takes one human 10 hours. That is one day job to spray 1 hectare. But the drone will do it in 15 minutes, right? Now, the question is, what value, aside from time, is the farmer getting? One, reduce number of chemical usage. So if a farmer is spraying herbicide, initially they would need 4 liters of chemical to 200 liters of water for 1 hectare. Now they're wasting a lot of water, one, and they're applying so much chemical per hectare. With the drones, it's reduced to about 2 liters of chemical with 30 liters of water. So you see that the concentration of water has been reduced drastically. You're not just wasting water, right? You're conserving water. You're also conserving chemical. Now, what that does is it reduces the chemical footprint within the soil. So the crops will no longer have chemical uh, 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 deposits within them, which is good to the health, and we can also export to the richer nations. Because most of our exports don't go out of Nigeria, because when it gets to testing labs, they find those chemicals in them because they're too much. Also, we reduce the error that happens. So, for example, a human is spraying a hectare, is walking around, he omits places, patches. Sometimes when they're tired, they actually omit larger areas, right? What that happens is this: the farmer loses about 50% of his crop by harvest period, losing both his capital and every profit that he would have made. So these are the problems that plague the agricultural industry here in the whole of Africa because of lack of modernization. constant usage of traditional means of farming. But the drones come in pretty accurately at less time with less chemical. They're saving money on chemicals. They're saving money on extra labor costs, and they're also saving money on duplication of spray, because normally they spray like 5, 6, 7 times. Imagine the number of chemicals you're buying 5, 6, 7 times, right? Now the drone will do it once, and you've got what you need. So instead of spraying 7 times, you're spraying it 3 times, right? Now another thing is creating maps. The drones can give you a detailed map, tell you where the elevation of your land, tell you how your land is situated, so you can be able to understand the high peaks, the low peaks, and plan accordingly. You want to do a landscaping too, right? Then the crop health, using infrared rays, able to detect which crop are unhealthy and advise you on what you should do, either to apply nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium, whichever is lacking within the crop, or is it even lack of irrigation that is what. These data that we get and these executions that we carry out are very precision. Over the time, there's definitely situations that exist batteries. So we've had issues where batteries are not able to run further. Batteries are not able to even die. Like even the recent one we had was the aircraft was flying. The aircraft fly at low angle. They fly like 0.9 to about 2 meters above the ground. So just between your foot or to your maximum of your knee cap, that's low. So and the lithium battery just and the drone fell, breaking some components. So the major hindrance within the drone technology is the battery. But good enough, there have been updates now, like it fuel, they call it the hybrid. So that way you are flying, refueling, and there's what do you call it? There's no hindrance in movement. So you can go further, fly longer, and also ensure that your aircraft cannot just fall down and crash off. The battery ampere was distorted either by change in direction or temperature or so many, because lithium is very volatile. So many things can make lithium to lose amperes or even create a short circuit.
All right. Yeah. So what about you've given advantages in terms of it's cheaper, it's cost effective. So what is the scale like? Do we still have more farmers using this traditional method of spraying crops in Nigeria, or what can you say is the percentage of drone utilization like in Nigeria, and what do you think can be done to improve that scale
Well,
compared to what is currently happening?
Nigeria has about 5 million hectares of arable land, and it's advisable to attach one drone to 100 hectares of land. So what that means is that we are looking at close to over 8.5 billion drones. Yeah, so we're looking at about 8.5 billion drones to make Nigeria 100% drone penetration in the agricultural sector.
You said
That's a
8.5
lot.
billion drones. Is that in unit of drones?
Yes, in units of drones.
That's a lot. 8.5
That's a
billion.
lot. Yes, that's a lot. Um, we are looking at uh, 85 million hectares, 100 hectares each drone. So that's 8.5 billion. That's a whole lot of drones, right? The question is, what can be done? So we are doing two things. One, we are creating an ecosystem. Now, what combines this ecosystem? We are looking at about 8.5 billion drones to make Nigeria 100% drone penetration in the agricultural sector. Now, that's a whole lot of drones. That's a whole lot of numbers, right? So for us to actually, one, reduce that number, we have to do two things. One, create an ecosystem, because the skill set, the knowledge gap within the drone industry is very large. Like, people do not actually know the use cases. They just see it as oh, a camera that flies and that can capture images, right? Computers. Some people see gaming too, while others is what they use for their work, their business. While others is what holds the server. Others are using for programming. So there are several use cases of the drone, right? So what are we doing? We are creating an ecosystem. Now that ecosystem, for an ecosystem to be like a triangle, you need the knowledge, right? You need the technology, right? And you need the proof of concept. So that proof of concept is what we started by providing drones for people as a service. We are proving to them that this works. That is one. Two, we've already had a partnership with the University of Ibadan to start a training center, which will be starting in the next few weeks. That training center will train 1,000 people every year. That's our goal. Although our first year, we're looking at between 400 to 500. But our goal is to get up to 1,000 every year. Now, what that would do is we are enlightening people on the use cases of drones and giving them skill sets, be it data analysis or processing, be it piloting, be it the business angle of the drone, be it the manufacturing angle of the drone, be it the hardware repair angle of the drone. So many skill sets will be developed. For an industry to thrive, you need manpower to be aware and have knowledge of those of the sector. Now, the last sector is manufacturing. We can't be 100% dependent on China to provide the 8.5 million drone deficit that we need, right? That's a whole lot. So what are we doing? We're ensuring that we have first a down-to-earth assembly plant here in Nigeria with 20 to 30% manufacturing capability. That means that we will manufacture the form factor or the body of the drone locally and import the chips and the high technology from other countries.
Amazing.
That way, the cost of that drone would drop drastically, and to make it very, very, very affordable for a farmer to buy. So if a farmer in Jalingo has 100 hectares, he can say, okay, I want to buy 2. And he trains 2 people to fly them in his farm. So that way, we'll be cutting the gap that exists within the drone industry. And we're making it also very easy for our farmers to deploy artificial intelligence, machine learning, and high technology in their farm. We had an agreement already with the Ondo State government, who are working with us to set up this factory. And hopefully, by Q4 2022 and Q1 2023, we should have the factory up and running. Just
Amazing.
we started the drone academy. So for us, this ecosystem with the AFCFTA would enable us to even sell drones to every African country with 0 custom duty charge. So for 1 million naira here, if you sold in South Africa for 1 million naira, maybe just an extra cost for freight. But the significance wouldn't be more than 2 to 5% of what is being sold here. And that way we can begin to replicate and expand across the continent to make delivery much more affordable. So the drone industry is a very good one, but it's a 10 to 20 years plan that will see drone technology in every farm. That's our goal. Every farmer must have a drone. I will make it possible.
Amazing, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I actually wanted to ask about your plans for the future, but I think you've been just been able to talk about everything. Uh, and so, right now, is there anything new you would like to tell us as we round up that you're doing with Beatdrone? Is there any new project you're very excited about? Just
Yeah.
anything you'd like us to know as we round up the show?
Well, the only thing I would like everyone to know is about our academy. Our academy is starting the end of September, and we are open to taking registration for people who want to actually know about the drone industry, who want to understand the sectors within the drone industry and how to make money using a drone. You just log on to beatdrone.co, sign up, and we'll reach out to you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing that. Thank you, Confidence, for being on the show. It's absolutely amazing to learn about what you're doing, your impact in, the agriculture space. I can see you're very excited about it, and you have big plans for the future. So I just want to wish you all the best in achieving all that.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, hello, thank you everyone for listening. That is Confidence Odioinye of Beatdrone. And if you enjoyed this episode, kindly share it with your friends. And you can reach out. You can reach out to us at curiouskpodcast@gmail.com. Curious is Kurious is the way we spell Curious K. Reach out to us, and thank you very much, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.